Hello, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to Royal Wednesdays, the very first episode of my weekly show. I'm so excited that you're here. In order to fully reach your potential as a kingdom entrepreneur, your potential for wealth, your potential for success, and to fully achieve and fulfill the purpose that God has for you, you have to develop a royal mindset. And that is what I'm going to be talking with you about right here every Wednesday. If you're new to me, I am Jessica McLean. I'm a transformational speaker and coach, helping women with multi-million dollar visions cultivate the mindset and systems to make that vision a reality. And in 2022, I quadrupled my income. I paid off debt. Actually, I surpassed my debt payoff goal. I lost 28 pounds and 16 inches and worked out 204 days in a row without stopping for the first time ever in my life. It was honestly amazing, y'all, okay? And the thing is, I had goals in each of those areas, goals for paying off debt, goals for increasing my income, goals for my health and fitness for years and years. And if you've set New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year and then at the end of the year gone, oh man, I forgot what I even said I was going to do, right? Maybe you can relate. Um, so even though I'd had goals in each of those areas for years and years, 2022 was the first year that I'd actually hit every single one that I set, just like clockwork. And the reason was because I made one simple shift that changed everything for me. And that shift was in my identity. At the end of 2021, when I was reflecting on the year and setting my goals for the new year, God told me to ask a new question. Previously, I would ask myself, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to accomplish this year? But in 2021, at the end of the year, I asked a new question. Who do I want to be this year? And when I shifted my identity, that was when I started making major shifts in my results, because that was what allowed me to shift my habits, shift who I was being, shift how I was showing up, and do it consistently. And consistency is always the key to results. It's always the key to results in every area of your life. And one of the things that I find to be such a challenge for so many visionary women is that we have this vision, this massive vision, these huge goals of what we want to accomplish, but we're trying to get queen results when we haven't actually let go of the commoner mindset and ways of thinking that we grew up with, that we inherited, that we've sort of assimilated from our environment. And so we're trying to get new results without changing our identity to match those results. And what that ends up looking like in your business is it looks like undercharging because you feel guilty or bad or scared or uncomfortable charging what you really want to charge, or you have a fear that people are not going to pay you what you want to charge. It looks like making great money but being stressed about money all the time. It looks like having, even sometimes it looks like things like having enough money to pay your bills but still paying them late because you forget, or you're disorganized, or you're stressed, which really comes out of a scarcity mindset, which I'll talk more about in my other weekly show, Money Monday. It looks like taking on clients that you really don't want to work with, that you know are not aligned with you, out of essentially fear of not having enough. Um, it looks like being really accomplished and having achieved a lot, but never really feeling good enough or successful. Sometimes it even looks like making great money, but for some reason at the end of the month or the end of the year, wondering, where did it all go? The money came in, but somehow it managed to go right back out again, and you don't even know where it went. There are so many ways that trying to get queen results, but without having a queen mindset, they aren't sustainable, that it shows up in our businesses. And the truth is, you truly cannot, like it says in the book Psycho Cybernetics, you cannot outperform your self image. So when you try to get a new level of results without having a new level of identity, it's really difficult to get those results, and it is impossible to sustain them because you will always go back to where you see yourself. You'll always go back to your identity because you cannot sustain any result in any area of your life that is incongruent with your identity, how you see yourself. Okay, if you see me looking down, it is because I have my notes here in front of me. All right. So let me know. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of the things that I've shared with you so far. Okay. And since it's so difficult, really, to create results that are incongruent with our identity, since it's impossible to sustain results that are incongruent with your identity, this is the shift, right? Your identity shift is the thing that needs to happen in order for you to go to the next level and the next and the next, and to really become the woman who has the multi-million-dollar business, right? The woman who has the massive impact, the woman who creates generational wealth, right? For her children's children. It starts with your identity, because that's how you can create that result and also sustain it. Right? So, what is identity? I recently read the book Be Your Future Self Now by Benjamin Hardy. And in that book, he says, your identity is the vision that you are committed to. It's the vision that you are committed to. And if you want to know what your identity is right now, look at your current results. Look at your current results in your business. Look at your current results in your finances, right? Look at your current results in your life. That's your identity. That's the vision that you've been committed to up until this moment, right? So if you don't like those results, right, if those results are not congruent with the vision that you want to have, right, what you want to see in your life, then that's where the shift begins, is the vision that you are committed to. Okay. So as a woman of God, your identity is in Christ. Right? And God has a whole lot to say about who you are. But we're going to focus today on your royal identity. In Romans chapter 5, verse 17, it says, those who have received the abundance of grace and gift of righteousness shall reign in life as kings. Okay. Now, if you've accepted Jesus, then you are the one who has received the abundance of grace and the gift of righteousness, which means the person who is called to reign in life as a king is you. You are the one. You are the one. You are the one who is called to reign as a king, right? You are the one who is called to be a queen. Okay. So that is your identity. God has decided that your identity is royalty, right? Because who reigns? Royalty, kings and queens, right? So God has already decided that your identity is royalty. So what does it mean to be royalty? What does it mean to be royalty? In this video and over the next 4 videos in this series, I'm going to talk about the 4 aspects of royalty, the 4 components of being a queen and having that queen identity, which are power, influence, wealth, and beauty. I'm going to talk about all 4 of those in this series. So if you are not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you'll get notified when the rest of the videos in this series come out. Today, we're going to focus on that queen identity, and really owning that queen identity, that royal identity, is owning the fact that power, influence, wealth, and beauty are natural states for you. They're natural states for you. This is the way you're supposed to live. This is your inheritance, right? Queens are born, right? They're born. Sometimes they're married. Sometimes you marry into being a queen, right? But not in this, it's not in this scenario, okay? Because Jesus is the King of Kings and you were part of his family. So you were born, right? Born into royalty. And because you were born into royalty, everything that goes along with royalty is a natural state of being for you. It's not something that you have to try to become or something that you have to try to get, right? But it's a natural state of being for you. I love how Tanya Lee says it. She says, when I decided that I was a naturally thin woman, I released all the extra weight I was carrying. And she now went from being significantly larger to being fit and healthy and slim, like she is now. And when she decided that wealth was a natural state of being for her, her income significantly increased and her business flourished. And so deciding, like Tanya did, that each of these things, power, influence, wealth, and beauty, that they're a natural state of being for you, is how you start to own that queen identity. And when you decide that it's a natural state of being for you, then it doesn't become this thing that's uncomfortable or this thing that you're trying to chase after, but it just becomes ease. It becomes flow. It becomes normal. It becomes your new standard. It becomes your new standard. Power is your new standard. Of course, you walk with power. Influence is your new standard. Of course, you walk with a new level and greater levels of influence, right? Of course, your influence is always growing, right? Wealth is your standard. Of course, you live in abundant overflow. Beauty is your standard. Of course, you look and feel your best, right? On a consistent basis. Of course, of course, of course, of course, right? So often we've been conditioned to believe that, of course, bad things happen, right? Of course, things you don't like happen. Of course, that didn't work out, right? So often we say, oh, of course, or of course it happened like that. Of course that didn't work out. Of course it failed, right? Of course things didn't go the way I wanted them to, right? People frequently say, of course, when it comes to bad things. But as a queen, when you step into your royal identity, your of course becomes of course things work out for me. Of course, I'm just at my best all the time. Of course, I walk with a level of power that causes people to turn their heads when I come in the room, right? Of course. Of course, my influence is always increasing. Of course, people are massively impacted and lives are transformed by the work that I do every single day. Of course, people read my emails and it changes their lives. People watch my videos, read my books, attend my events, right? Experience my services. Of course, of course, of course, of course, people are happy to pay me my highest prices, right? Of course, people joyfully and easily pay me whatever I ask for my services. Of course, of course, of course, of course, right? Of course. This is just natural. It's normal. It's natural. This is just the way my life is. And when you step into that identity, that's what it becomes for you. Of course, natural, consistent, standard. Hello. Yes. Yes. So I have a couple of questions for you to consider in your journaling time. The first is, what results are you ready to uncommit from in your life? Because if you look at what you're committed to right now, is the results that you have right now. So, what results are you ready to uncommit from in your life? Second, what is the vision that you want to commit to and that you're deciding to commit to going forward from here? And what would be different? What would be different in your life? What would be different? What would be possible? What would change if you decided to only be available for queen results? To only be available for the vision that you are committing to? What if you decided to only be available for the level of wealth, the level of impact, the level of influence that you desire to have? What if you were only available for your vision and nothing less? What would change for you? What would be different? What would be possible? What would your life and business be like if you made that decision today? When I made the decision to up-level my identity, to step into a new identity and commit to a new vision in 2022, everything changed for me. My health and fitness, my wealth, my net worth, it all changed for me. My business grew, my life improved, everything changed. And when you step into your royal identity, everything will change for you as well. And you will see results on results on results on results. And of course, because that's just your natural state of being. That's all for today. I hope this video was helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments if it spoke to you, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it so we can spread the message of stepping into your royal identity with women everywhere. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.